You'd think by now we've explored every corner of the Earth's oceans, but there is one body of water that continues to hold on to its secrets like it's guarding something big. The Black Sea doesn't just have a mysterious name, it is practically a time capsule, sealed in dark, oxygen-deprived depths that preserve whatever falls into it. From ghostly shipwrecks to ancient cities no one even knew existed, these are the strangest, scariest, and most mysterious discoveries made in the Black Sea. It looks like something out of a movie. An ancient ship, 2,400 years old, just sitting there upright on the sea floor. In 2018, a team of researchers using remote deep-sea technology discovered what's believed to be the oldest intact shipwreck ever found, a Greek trading vessel from around 400 BCE. What makes it truly eerie is how well preserved it is. The mast is still standing, the rudders are in place, and even the benches where rowers once sat are there. Thanks to the Black Sea's anoxic or oxygen-free depths, organic material doesn't rot the same way it does in other waters. That means the ship is essentially frozen in time, almost like the crew just stepped off of it yesterday. What if the Black Sea was the site of a real-life apocalypse? In the late 1990s, scientists proposed a terrifying theory. Around 7,500 years ago, the Black Sea wasn't a sea at all. It was a freshwater lake. Then something catastrophic happened. The rising waters of the Mediterranean Sea suddenly poured in, possibly through what's now the Bosporus Strait, flooding the region in a massive event. The sudden influx of salt water might have drowned entire civilizations and inspired flood legends like Noah's Ark. Some geologists believe this event happened rapidly, like within months, swallowing farmland and villages whole. Evidence from core samples pulled from the seabed seems to back it up, so what do you think? Imagine finding the ruins of a city where there shouldn't be any land at all. Near the Bulgarian coastline, researchers using sonar in 2011 discovered what appeared to be the submerged remains of an ancient settlement. Structures resembling walls, roads, and possibly homes were found under 300 feet of water. While studies are ongoing, some experts believe it could be linked to early civilizations displaced by the massive flood event that turned the freshwater Black Sea into a saltwater one. It's not just a lost city, it might be a whole lost chapter of human history. In 2000, a robot submersible off the coast of Sinop, Turkey, stumbled upon something unexpected. Wooden structures, tools, and human remains. These were part of a Neolithic village that once stood on dry land before being submerged by rising sea levels. But the most chilling part was the discovery of human bones, perfectly preserved due to the low oxygen environment. This wasn't just a scientific discovery, it was like a silent graveyard from over 7,000 years ago, and possibly direct evidence of a mass displacement or natural catastrophe. It started as a simple pipeline mapping project, but what they found was like opening a portal to another time. In 2016, researchers from the Black Sea Maritime Archaeology Project were scanning the seabed off the coast of Bulgaria. They were expecting sand, rocks, maybe a few routine wrecks. Instead, they stumbled upon what's now considered one of the largest underwater ship graveyards ever found. Over 60 shipwrecks were scattered across the sea floor, some dating back more than 1,000 years. What shocked the team wasn't just the number of wrecks, but how incredibly well preserved they were. Again, because of the Black Sea's deep, oxygen-free waters, even the organic material like ropes, rigging, and wooden hulls had survived the centuries. Some ships still had their steering mechanisms, sails, and cargo on board. One Byzantine vessel even had a collection of amphora clay containers used to ship olive oil and wine that were still stacked neatly in the hold. These weren't just wrecks, they were snapshots of history. You could almost imagine the crew still on board, unaware that their final voyage would make them part of one of archaeology's most haunting discoveries. They were just looking for ruins near the Bulgarian coast, but they didn't expect to find an entire port swallowed by the sea. Once a thriving Greek colony founded in the 7th 7th century BCE, Apollonia was a bustling hub of trade and culture. But by the time modern researchers began surveying the area in 2012, large parts of the city had mysteriously vanished beneath the water. Using sonar and diving teams, archaeologists uncovered massive stone structures, long-forgotten cobblestone roads, and remnants of what appeared to be ancient docks and storehouses. What made the discovery even more unsettling was the state of preservation. These ruins didn't look like they'd slowly eroded, they looked like they'd been suddenly engulfed. Geologists believe a combination of earthquakes, rising sea levels, and violent tsunamis might have triggered a rapid collapse of the coastal area. One moment, Apollonia was a thriving trade city, and the next it was gone, frozen beneath the waves, its buildings eerily intact as if the sea had hit pause on time itself. Some even believe more of the city is still waiting to be discovered, buried under layers of sediment further offshore. It wasn't just ancient ships resting in the depths. Some of the Black Sea's most dangerous relics are actually far more recent. In 2008, off the coast of the Crimean Peninsula, divers investigating sonar anomalies made a spine-chilling discovery: the skeletal remains of several World War II-era submarines resting silently on the seafloor. These were not just wrecks, they were battlefield casualties, likely lost during the brutal naval clashes between the Soviets, Germans, and Romanians. One sub stood out. Identified as an M-class Soviet submarine, it was shockingly intact. Its hull was weathered but unbroken, its torpedo tubes were still loaded, and the conning tower jutted out eerily from the seabed like a tombstone. These vessels didn't just sink, they vanished without a trace, taking their crews with them into the black. Today, researchers believe the anoxic waters that preserved ancient wooden ships have also turned these subs into time capsules, but they're also potential powder kegs still carrying dangerous live ordnance. Some teams won't even dive too close for fear of disturbing them. These wrecks are not just history, they're sleeping giants left untouched at the bottom of the sea. Imagine a place where the dead don't decay, where sunken ships drift into the dark and stay exactly as they were when they vanished. That is the reality of the Black Sea's hypoxic zone, a layer of water below 150 meters that has almost no oxygen. In 2011, a team of marine archaeologists sent remote-operated vehicles, or ROVs, deep into this zone, expecting to find deteriorated wrecks. What they discovered instead was like a horror movie set frozen in time. Ships so well preserved that ropes still hung from the masts, wooden hulls looked freshly cut, and some even had cargo still sitting on deck. One particular wreck appeared to be a medieval trading vessel, upright and mostly intact, like it had been gently placed on the seabed instead of lost in a violent storm. The crew described the ships as, quote, ghosts of the deep, their timbers unstained by rot, their anchors unmoved. Some even had decorative carvings still visible like they just sunk yesterday. These are the ships that never made it home, but they didn't fall apart, they simply just waited, held in stasis by the sea. Researchers say the Black Sea is unlike anywhere else on Earth, where shipwrecks don't just rest, they haunt. It was supposed to be a regular underwater archaeological survey. Instead, they found an underwater graveyard. Off the coast of Nessebar, Bulgaria, once known as Mesembria, divers discovered the remains of an ancient necropolis in shallow waters. Tombstones, sarcophagi, and what appeared to be burial chambers were just sitting meters below the surface. The area had once been part of the city before being consumed by the sea. What's especially disturbing is that no one knows how many bodies may still be down there, or how many more necropolises the Black Sea is hiding. The most recent and puzzling mystery? Strange geometric shapes detected by sonar deep beneath the Black Sea with no clear explanation. In 2023, a private maritime research group scanning the floor near the western basin of the sea found several rectangles and circular patterns that didn't look natural. Some researchers suggested they could be remnants of buildings or fortifications buried under centuries of sediment. Others speculated they were ancient ports or early religious sites, but no one has been able to verify what they are because they're too deep for divers to reach, and remote vehicles haven't made it that far yet. Until they do, these shapes remain a modern-day mystery. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye!